Five Nights at Freddy's, the 2023 one, is a mostly family-friendly horror movie about a man named Mike who takes a job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where he'll unknowingly be keeping watch over 4 haunted animatronics. Now, let's talk about it.
Are you okay?
As someone who's been a fan of this franchise from the very start, I've been looking forward to this movie since, well, 2015 or 16, whenever it was first announced. I can acknowledge that the movie isn't the Titanic of horror. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. However, as a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, and thus a member of the target demographic, I absolutely loved it. The movie begins with Mike Schmidt tackling a man in a mall fountain. In his defense, it did look like an abduction. However, he lost his job because apparently everyone was too lazy or dumb to look at the security cameras and see where he was coming from. Poor guy. Now he's out of a job and left temporarily unemployed while single-handedly raising his sister Abby. And talking about Abby for a moment, I loved her scenes with the animatronics, and I did like her as a character. However, some of her lines could have been performed better. Obviously, I understand she's a child actor, and I do think she did a great job. I just think some of her lines could have been redone. It's nothing that'll ruin the experience, though. Moving on, now that we have jobless Mike, we get introduced to Aunt Jane. She seems like a Disney villain who just wants to steal this man's child to make him sad and fill her own pockets with money from the government. Throughout the movie, up until she can't, she's trying to get Abby, and even hires the girl's babysitter Max to do her dirty work. So Mike ends up meeting a man named Steve Raglan, unknown at the time to be William Afton, and reluctantly takes on the job of guarding Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Nothing too crazy happens on his first night, however he does meet the sketchy cop Vanessa. And talking about her for a moment, I call her sketchy because one minute she's being all nice and friendly, and the next minute she's acting like a shy bad cop. I thought the actress did a great job, though the character, not so much. I won't get into it just yet, but let's just say she's putting on an act herself. I told you guys in the trailer video there was something off about that girl. Things go pretty well, but eventually Aunt Jane says screw it, and in an attempt to get Mike fired, hires Max, her brother, and some friends to break in and wreck the place. Unfortunately for them though, Bonnie, Chica, Freddy, and Foxy have other plans, and shortly after breaking in, Freddy and friends break them. Now without a babysitter, Mike brings Abby to Freddy's, and after cleaning up the place he falls asleep, allowing her to sneak off and meet the band. I absolutely loved every single moment we got with Abby and the animatronics. It's just fun and silly, and I wish we had more of it. We get scenes like them dancing or building a fort. It's just bizarrely wholesome. Bad news for you though, Abs. These child-possessed robots are still victims of the Yellow Bunny, Spring Bonnie, William Afton. And as Vanessa tells Mike at one point, Afton still has some control over them. She's not sure how, but is able to manipulate them into aiding in his killing spree. Now for a reveal I never saw coming. During a shift, when Mike is there and Abby's not, Mike gets attacked but saved at the last minute by Vanessa, who tells him there's a reason she seems so strange. You see, Vanessa whatever her last name was, is an Afton, and Steve Raglan is her father, William. The two rush to the restaurant where Abby snuck away to with the help of her ghostly pal Golden Freddy, and after being terrorized by the animatronics, William Afton reveals himself. This was such an amazing and entertaining moment, at least for a fan of FNAF. It was just so much fun watching Springtrap whoop some ass, only for Abby to end up reminding the animatronics of who he really is, leading to his death at the hands of his own suit. It was great. I loved this movie. It is a real treat for FNAF fans. I do have some complaints though, but they're not anything that'll ruin the movie. Firstly, I love the soundtrack, but I wish there were some more songs. One song, for example, is used 3 or 4 times, and I was really hoping we'd get some original Freddy Fazbear songs, but no. Unfortunately, nothing from the past is present in this. Which brings me to my next complaint, Repaired Foxy. For some reason, one of the promo videos had a Repaired Foxy animatronic. Also Shadow Freddy, that's not in this movie, but anyway. Repaired Foxy is nowhere to be seen in this. I was really hopeful we'd get some flashbacks or see some old videos, something. But no. Unless they're in deleted scenes, we won't be seeing an up-and-running Freddy Fazbear's until the sequel, potentially. Hopefully. I really hope Scott gets his trilogy. And lastly, I didn't like the secret animatronic the director teased. They said there was a character very important to FNAF, who they haven't revealed yet. And it was an action figure of Balloon Boy that appears in odd places 3 or 4 times to be a jarring little jump scare. That was a letdown, but it's not the movie's fault. I'm sure it would have been funny had the director not made it sound like we'd be seeing something actually cool, like, you know, maybe the puppet or Springlock Fredbear, for example. But that's all I've got for cons and complaints, and they're nothing that'll ruin the movie. I thought the cast did great, I loved the set, the music, the animatronics. As a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, this movie was near perfect. And in the end of the day, I would rate 2023's Five Nights at Freddy's an 8 out of 10. If you want to watch this movie for yourself, link to it can be found in the description below when it's available. Right now it might only be on Peacock. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Have a nice day. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this, how about checking out the newest issue of the VHS comic book series, The Bear Eats Scary Cheesy Pizza Special, an unofficial parody of Five Nights at Freddy's. For legal reasons, it relies heavily on a tragedy at Domino's Pizza, an inspiration from Chuck E. Cheese. But hey, if you like FNAF, you'll like this.